Howdy everyone, it's your bud Stalkaz. In today's video, I'm going to take a trot down memory lane. I'm going to dig up a time capsule and take a look back at my favorite moments of 2021. But before we continue, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon to get notified. Alright, let's get to it. So in today's show, I'll be interviewing Seth Foxworthy of the Zoo Collar Comedy Tour. Hi Seth, how are you? Welcome to the show.
Hello, this Stalkaz. If you know what weather degrade and digigrade mean, you might be a furry. If you know the difference between feral and afro, you might be a furry. If you draw animals better than you draw human, you might be a furry. If inflation means something more than economics, you might be a furry. And if you shop at the pet store but don't have any, you might be a furry.
I can't believe it's come to this. There's nothing else I could do. You leave me with no other choice.
When they see me walking down the street, none of the fellas want to speak. Hey, hey, on their faces they wear a silly smirk, cause they know I'm the king of the cool jack.
Get out of here, you nosy little pervert, or I'm gonna slap you silly!
Deviled eggs. Today we're gonna make some deviled eggs. They're quick and easy to make and they're delicious.
And voila, we have your deviled eggs.
Hey there, it's your bud Stalkaz here. Welcome to another variety show. And whoever came up with the term easiest pie? I mean, pie isn't that easy to make. Speaking of pie, 3.14159265358. I'd keep going, but that'll be irrational. Get it? And you know how they say necessity's the mother of invention? Who's the father? Today's subject is on friendship. I was ecstatic. I was like, wow. And just to think, you know, had I not reached out to this person again, we may not have been friends again. Hey there, it's your bud Stalkaz here. I just reached 200 subscribers. Yo, it's Stalkaz. Talk to me.
Stalkaz, we need to swear you in as the new leader.
But you know I don't swear.
No, I mean, take the oath. Hurry, time is of the essence.
Oats, that's what I had for breakfast. And why are we talking about a perfume named Time?
Just repeat after me.
After me.
No, you fool! You're not supposed to say after me.
But you just said
Forget what I said. Just say the following.
the following.
Stal, will you stop horsing around?
So a lot of you, especially if you're new to the fandom, are asking, okay, now I'm a furry. Now what? Well, you've come to the right place, because I'm going to tell you. So the first step, actually, is to create a persona. There are many different ways of involvement.
What this suit needs is just a good old brushing. Brush, brush, brush your suit gently down the seam. Carefully, 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 then your fur will gleam. Remember to brush your suit.
Today's topic is disappointment. Now, I'm sure we've all dealt with that, unless you're some sort of super fur with magical powers. And if so, see me after the video. And a lot of times I feel frustrated, I feel discouraged, sometimes even angry. It's like, I can't believe that happened. I mean, I've been hoping for this, or I've been working so hard, and why didn't it turn out the way I wanted? But what you can do, instead of letting that anger and disappointment make you bitter and resentful, use that anger as motivation. And that's what I do, and I use it, I feed off of that and use that as a drive to improve myself, to keep myself moving. And one thing that you have absolute control of is not giving up. So never, ever, ever give up. Keep trying, keep persevering, and eventually things will work out for you and things will pay off. "28 stab wounds. Guys? 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 No! In today's video, I'm going to talk about courage. Courage isn't the lack of fear, it's actually facing your fears. You've heard the old adage, nothing venture, nothing gain. The final advice I have is, you know, a lot of people play the game of what if, like, oh, what if this happens, or what if that happens, and they keep coming up with like these worst case scenarios, or all the things go wrong. Well, what you can do is play that game, but reverse it around. What if things go right? What if I discovered this brand new awesome thing, or what I discovered that this awesome talent that I never knew I had? And just think, if you hadn't faced your fears, you would never know that. Greetings, every fur. Professor Stalkaz here. Welcome to my class. Today I'm going to give an overview of the German language. See what I did there?
Among us, you make me cuss. Among us, do your sus. Doing my task is my job. If I see one more corpse, I will sob. Weapons, admin, shields, navigation, storage, reactor, security, communication. Among us, you make me cuss. Among us, do your sus. Wires, switches, fueling, trash. Let's just hope the ship won't crash. I get very nervous seeing you near. Every step closer gives me fear. Among us, you make me cuss. Among us, do your sus.
Yo, it's your bud Stalkaz here. In today's video, I'm gonna take a look at some funny furry memes. If you want to cry, I'll give you something to cry about. I know what furry stuff you looked up on the internet. Next. I would look great in this sweater. Wah, wah, wah. Here we have a circle made out of cheesecake. Be sure to wear your most expensive suit to the interview. What do you think they're telling me? And what they were really telling me. And this is my favorite, last but not least. I'm here for the bad dragon mascot job. As you can see, I'm a really bad dragon. Possibly the worst. Nay! 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 Happy Easter, everyone! So, today's episode... Oh, hold on one second, my producer. What? What do you mean if you don't have the Easter Bunny? He's already booked? You actually expect me to say that on camera? That's the cheesiest joke I've ever heard in my life. Well, unfortunately we can't get the Easter Bunny because he's booked. So the next best thing is the Easter Bunny. Get it? Can't believe you made me say that. What's up, Stalkaz here. In today's video, I'm going to show you my top 10 favorite furry YouTubers. What's up, Stalkaz? So almost exactly a year ago is when I started drawing furry art. And so I'm gonna go deep into the vault and dig out some of my earliest drawings. Oh man. This is so freaking cursed. See, I told you it was cursed. Oh, the horror. The horror. Guess what that was supposed to be? That's supposed to be a rabbit. What's up, Stalkaz? Here are the 5 things that annoy digital artists. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing furry haters. So now we'll move on to why they are furry haters. Well, first, it might just be due to misinformation. They just simply don't know about the fandom and just don't know what being a furry is. And a stronger word for that might be ignorance. It's just being uninformed and uneducated on the subject. And if you combine that ignorance with stereotypes, it's a dangerous combination. And finally, what can you do about furry haters? Because you're inevitably going to be encountering these. So there's 2 things you can do. The first is just simply ignore them. And a lot of times that might just take care of the problem right off the bat. And if they persist at it, or if you're more confrontational, you can confront them and actually inform them. You can actually explain what the furry fandom is and why you are a furry. That was a mic, and I dropped it. The furry fandom, and the furry fandom according to anti-furs. Well, you know what you say, perception is reality. Moving on. Here we have a protogen. I fear no man. But that thing. Please check the box below to proceed. It scares me. I hate captchas, especially when you make you click on those pictures and they're ever changing. It drives you absolutely insane. Moving on. When someone asks why there's blue hair stuck in your hairbrush when you don't have dyed hair. What? Huh? I can explain. No, seriously, I can't explain. Moving on. He's probably thinking about other dogs. What was Scar's name before he got the scar? Wow, that's a good question. Moving on. A well-named Karen. So we have Karen, a cashier named Karen, and a manager named Karen. I think the universe is gonna explode with all these Karens. Normies. What? A dog and a rope? I don't get what's funny about it. Furries. Obviously, normies just do not understand. Get it? Moving on. A. S. M. R. Hey, you know, Zach, I'm really pumped for this video. I've been practicing really hard and it's gonna be great. Wait, what are you up to?
Ultra Horse's style, finishing up the design of my new fursona.
Your new fursona?
My new fursona chased the fire dragon. Didn't I tell you?
What do you need to do fursona?
I've always loved dragons. I always thought they were awesome creatures, and it just resonated with me. And like, red is my favorite color, and I love the orange design resembling flames. And he's also magical, and the stars kind of resemble, you know, a wizard. So like, yeah, he's got to be my fursona.
Salutations, class. It's Professor Stalkaz. Welcome to Furryology 101. Welcome to Lit.
My hometown of Lidditz, located in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, has a lot of small town charm and appeal. It has a population of just under 10,000 people, and it was dubbed America's Coolest Small Town in 2013. On the far left is the Mary Dixon Memorial Chapel, then it's the Gemein House, then the Sister's House, then it's the Moravian Church, then the Brothers' House. Across from the church square is the Julius Sturgis Pretzel Bakery, which is the location of America's first commercial pretzel bakery. Making our way down the street from the pretzel bakery is the Lidditz Museum, and aside of that is the Johannes Mueller House, and they offer guided tours and give a detailed history of Lidditz and the Moravians. And then the Mueller House itself, it's an authentic Lidditz house with a lot of original furnishings. Alright, making our way down Main Street. It's a nice view of the street. There's a lot of different stores, shops, boutiques, restaurants. A nice fountain and a beautiful backdrop of construction. Next we'll turn right on Broad Street, and there's a view of the former Wilbur Chocolate Company, which was recently converted into a hotel. And here's the entrance to Lidditz Springs Park, one of my favorite places to visit. The ducks seem to love coming here too. There's a gazebo. Different bands come here throughout the spring and summer and perform. As you can see, there are lots and lots of ducks. And we're approaching the band shell. This is where a lot of groups perform, and where the main festivities occur during the 4th of July celebration. Bunch of springs, mini springs in the back where the water comes from, and then it bubbles out there at that circular fixture. Don't worry, I'm not going to hurt you. Nice and dark back there. Bigs of the 4 springs, there's a grate obviously so people don't fall in. And there's a German inscription that says Gottes Brunnlein hat Wasser die Fülle, which means God's little fountain has water that fills. Very picturesque, I think. You can see the entire park from this vantage point. On the 4th of July, it's literally wall-to-wall people. It's insane, but at nighttime when all the candles are lit, it's just so beautiful. They light the candles and then they set off the fireworks to like music. It's so cool.
Did you see that? How could he say such a thing? Whatever should I do? I'll tell you what to do. It's reaction time. In today's video, I'm going to react to some furry hate comments I've received. They range from mild to wild. This is going to be fun. It's Broman47 with a bunch of puke emotes. Well, Broman47, if you're puking that much, maybe you might want to see a doctor. Moving on. Next is Dupe saying, I need to leave this earth. I'm terrified. Well, Dupe, why don't you go ahead and contact NASA? I'm sure they can help you out. Moving on. Next is Alex Bacre saying, bruh, what the is this on my feed for? Well, Alex, what the you have to butcher the English language so much? Moving on. Next is Stella Kuhn is Peru saying, ew, what is that? Well, Stella, first of all, ew, what did you step in? And second of all, it's a furry. Moving on. Next is Lancy Boy 365 saying furries with the puke emote. Well, Lancy Boy, seems like you have the same ailment as Broman47. See a medical professional. Moving on. Next is Baby Slayer saying furries have mental issues. Well, with a name like Baby Slayer, maybe you do. Moving on. The last comment is from saying shoot it down. Well, name that I can't pronounce. Maybe your name should be put down to come up with a more intelligible one.
Whoa, stop right there. Where do you think you're going? Oh, so you want to be part of the furry fandom? Well, you must meet these criteria before you can enter.
Yo, it's your bud Stalkaz. In today's video, I'm going to go over gatekeeping in the furry fandom. So for those of you who don't know, gatekeeping is defined as the activity of controlling or usually limiting general access to something. Furry fandom is all-inclusive. Everyone's welcome as long as you're not breaking the law or doing anything like that. And there's no age requirement. You don't need to own a fursuit. Popularity doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many or how few friends you have. It doesn't matter whether you create content or not. So in the fandom, everyone should be welcome, and you can be as much or as little involved as you want.
Hey y'all, I'm Stalkaz.
Is that me?
And I'm a sexy horseman. I am not a horse. I am an ass.
Whoa, hold up there, whoa. I am a horse. What is it? Huh?
I like Twilight Sparkle.
Just for the record, I'm not a brony. I don't watch My Little Pony. Rhyme not intended. I don't even know who all the characters are.
I think she's so damn perky. And purple. Purple and purdy. That's all I got to say for right now. Like, comment, and subscribe, and see more of my horse shit.
Your stinky funk smells like a skunk, violating my nose, you see. Your acrid stench makes me hurl in the trench, and I want to gag while we. You're bathing now, I don't care how, your odor is too strong for me. Get in that tub, go ahead and scrub, don't get out till you're clean. Cause if you hate it, then you should learn to live with it. If you hate it, then you should learn to live with it. Don't be mad, just your nostrils burn from it. If you hate it, then you should learn to live with it. Oh, 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 oh.
So a lot of people want disposable income, and I'm like, why would you want to put your income into garbage disposal? Recently there's an ad airing on television for an app, and it's low cash mode. Well, guess what? My whole life has been in low cash mode. Where do sick proteges go to get treated? The veterinarian. The other day my friend was like, I could go for 5 guys right now. I'm like, don't be greedy, you just need one. I think the one benefit of being a social pariah is you don't have to worry about identity theft because, hey, who wants to steal your identity? Today we're going to talk about ghosting. Not the spirits of Halloween. I'm talking about another form of ghosting, and it's very real, and it's in this realm. The definition of ghosting is the practice of ending a relationship with someone by suddenly and without explanation withdrawing from all communication. In other words, it's when someone completely vanishes from your life, just like a ghost. So in summary, ghosting, it's very damaging and it's very hurtful because it happens all of a sudden out of nowhere without warning or explanation. It can be damaging because you've had a relationship with this person, be it a short term or long term or anywhere in between, and all of a sudden it's no longer there. But you just have to try to make amends, try to reach out, try to restore, and ultimately, since it's ultimately out of your control, just try to move on and cherish the relationships that are still there in your life. And last but not least, on your side, make sure you never ghost anyone because you know how damaging it could be. Yo, it's your bud Stalkaz. So recently I just surpassed 500 subscribers. This is a significant milestone for me, and I'm so grateful for each and every one of you.
Yo, it's your bud Stalkaz. I just arrived at Philadelphia at the convention center. Let's get this party started.
There he is.
Hey, it's Stalkaz. I'm finally suited up at Philadelphia.
Can I get your picture?
Sure, oh yeah.
Thank you.
I am announcing the third place.
Why are you holding? Wait, I'm sorry. Why
Drum roll, please. Raise. Come and get your trophy.
Get your trophy, boy. Get your trophy, boy. Or how the Soldier Boy song, but it's like with the trophies instead. You get your trophy. You. Yes. Yes.
I will be announcing second place. Let me stand up.
Okay, we stand.
So, drum roll. Oh wait. Okay. Kyre.
Aw, look at that. Look at that love. Oh, woo.
Come on up, Kyre.
You get your trophy. You get over here, boy. Over here. Hi. Over here. Where all the people are floating. Ah, yes.
All right. And for first place for Furrydelphia 2021 is Peter Cat.
First and second place. And third.
Go look at my furry. Go look at my furry. Go look at my furry. I won't down. Go look at my furry. Go look at my furry. Go look at my furry. I won't down. When I suit up, yeah, this is when I think. Everybody stares and watches without a blink. I got fluff head to hoof, and you ought to know it. Know it. I'm furry and I know it. I'm furry and I know it.
In today's video, I'm going to discuss the topic of envy. Envy is defined as the feeling of discontented or resentful longing aroused by someone else's possessions, qualities, or luck. Another name for envy would be jealousy. For instance, we all know the saying of keeping up with the Joneses, of trying to stay ahead of the pack and on being the cutting edge and getting the newest and latest things, or compare yourself and saying that the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. But just realize that sometimes it's merit-based. Maybe they deserved it, or maybe they worked harder than you for it. And most importantly of all, if it personally affects you, and this is something that I sometimes struggle with, is let people know about it. You know, tell your friends or tell someone, you know, if they come up as boasting or bragging, just tell them that, hey, it's kind of bothering me, and say it in a polite manner, and I'm sure they would understand. And in the same regard, if something good happens to you, you definitely don't want to brag. Be grateful, be gracious about it, be humble too. You know, think about the golden rule, for instance. Do unto others as you would have them do to you, or in other words, treat others the way you wish to be treated. And it's an easy way to keep everything in check, because if something good happens to you, you don't want them to be envious of you. You want them to be happy for you. Yo, it's your bud Stalkaz, and in today's video, I'm gonna go over the top 10 favorite furry characters in entertainment. Of course, we're about to do some sit-down comedy. See what I did there? A lot of times I'm worried about NSFW, not safe for work content. And I'm like, well, it is safe for work if you're in the adult industry. And what's the deal when you go to the grocery store and you see things are sugar-free? I mean, I still have to pay for it. That's false advertising. Clothing size do psychics wear? Medium. Get it? What's a kangaroo's favorite car? Subaru. this is Stalkaz Stallion, and welcome to this WFUR exclusive. Today's special guest is Wendell Werewolf. Welcome, Wendell. In today's video, we're going to delve into the topic of toxicity. It's a subject that affects each and every one of us one way or another. The definition of toxicity is the quality of being very harmful or unpleasant in a pervasive or insidious way. In other words, it's a negative feeling and atmosphere that kind of festers and percolates over time, and it can get very corrosive, and soon the entire environment is just covered in a dark cloud of negativity. Okay, lastly, what can be done about it? Well, there's two cases. Maybe you're the toxic person, or maybe someone else is the toxic person. If you're the toxic person, first examine yourself. Figure out why you're being toxic. Change your outlook. Try to change your attitude, change how you view things, and change how you act. And then finally, if you do recognize that you're a toxic person, apologize to the others, and I'm sure they'll appreciate you, trying to improve yourself. Now, the other case is if somebody else is toxic. Well, first, call them out. It may not be easy to do that, and of course, if you're like being non-confrontational, it may be challenging to do that. But it's in everyone's best interest to do that if the case warrants that. And then finally, and this is if worse comes to worse, and the person doesn't want to change, or nobody calls them out, just politely ask them to leave, because it affects everyone else, and like I said before, it affects morale and the environment and the atmosphere, and it's probably in the group's best interest if they ask that person to just politely leave.
Open the Middle Creek!
Middle Creek Wildlife Management Area is a 5,000-acre area of land, including a 400-acre lake located in northern Lancaster and southern Lebanon counties in Pennsylvania. It officially opened in 1973 with the completion of the visitor center. There are many activities to do at Middle Creek, which include the visitor center, hiking, fishing, non-motorized boating, birding, photography, hunting, and picnicking. There's a nice view of the lake. The weather was absolutely beautiful. Not a cloud in the sky, temperatures in the mid-60s, and the foliage was absolutely breathtaking. So I would say this is a moderate trail. Even though it's shorter in length, there are a few hills. Here you can hear the Canada geese honking in the distance. Very easily recognizable sound. View of the beautiful foliage. And just look at the beautiful red foliage there. Golden foliage in the distance. At the very end of the trail is the lake. Not much wildlife out there, but the scenery itself is very picturesque. And here's the view. See the foliage in the foreground and countryside in the distance. And faintly in the background you can see the Blue Mountains, which is the beginning of the Appalachian Mountains. Where we are now is the Furnace Hills, which is the foothills of the Appalachians, and then the Appalachians actually begin with the Blue Mountains in the distance. Now, for a while, there was also the Braille Trail, which is the same trail as the Millstone, but it was like a shorter loop, and there would be like posts with like a wire for blind people to hike, but apparently they discontinued that. Here's the Millstone itself, where it gets its namesake. I'm not too familiar with the history, but apparently maybe there was a mill up here and they would use it to crush grain. Yeah, just look at that. Every time I see this, I just imagine Bob Ross. Imagine him up here with his easel, palette, and brushes and painting that scenery. sounds in the background as you're enjoying the view.
Howdy, it's your buddy Stalkaz. So as many of you probably know, the United States recently celebrated the holiday of Thanksgiving. So I thought I'd go ahead and just share a message with you guys. Well, Thanksgiving is all about giving thanks, as the name suggests. So, and a lot of times you do that by showing gratitude. Gratitude is defined as the quality of being thankful and also the readiness to show appreciation for and to return kindness. And you do that by just recognizing all the blessings in your life. Now, if you see in a recent video of mine regarding envy, you can know that's sometimes a challenge, but the way to combat that is just to count your blessings. Be grateful for what you do have instead of focusing on what you don't have.
Six hours later.
In today's video, I'm going to cook up some sugar cookies. See what I did there? Cookies, yeah! And here they are. Fresh, delicious sugar cookies. Merry Christmas, everyone! In today's video, I'm going to talk about the presents of Christmas. No, not these kind of presents. I'm talking about another presents. What exactly is Christmas? Christmas is a holiday that's celebrated on December 25th every year, and the reason for that date is that was the date of the winter solstice on the Roman calendar. What does it mean? It's actually a shortened form of Christ's Mass. It's about celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ. And so when he got there were no rooms available anywhere. Everything was booked solid. However, this one innkeeper had a stable out back. Yes, that's right, a stable. And so that's where they stayed. And so Mary went ahead and gave birth to Jesus, which is Christ living amongst us. And so he was present up here on earth. Get it? Present? And so, ever since, we've been celebrating the birth of Christ. There's other presents as well. The presence of family, the presence of friends, the presence of the holiday spirit. There's many different types of presents. Wow, so many awesome memories. I can't believe another year's come and gone already. So here's to a happy, healthy, safe, and prosperous new year for everyone. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. This is Stalkaz. See ya!